US President-elect Donald Trump issued a stark warning to impose 100% tariffs on the BRICS nations if they were to create a rival currency to the US dollar, and any effort to sideline the US dollar in global trade will come up at a steep cost. In a post on his Truth Social platform, Trump declared the idea that the BRICS countries are trying to move away from the dollar while we stand by and watch is over. The BRICS alliance includes major world powers such as China, Russia, Brazil, India, South Africa, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and the United Arab Emirates. Some BRICS members such as China, Brazil, Iran, and Russia have suggested creating a BRICS currency to reduce the US dollar's dominance in global trade. Trump's message was clear: abandon plans to create an alternative currency or risk severe economic retaliation. On his social media platform, Truth Social, Trump wrote, "We require a commitment from these countries that they will neither create a new BRICS currency nor back any other currency to replace the mighty US dollar, or they will face 100% tariffs and should expect us say goodbye to selling into the wonderful US economy. They can go find another sucker," he said. Before I proceed, I encourage you to consider liking the video and don't forget to share your views on the topic in the comment section below. Your feedback is invaluable for us and a wider audience around the world. Previously on the campaign trail, Trump repeatedly vowed to defend the US dollar's global dominance and impose punitive tariffs on the nations attempting to de-dollarize. His latest remarks highlight a renewed focus on economic nationalism as a cornerstone of his upcoming administration. However, some Trump allies have said that his recent statements regarding 100% tariffs are negotiation tactics and meant more as an opening bid than a promise. Republican Senator Ted Cruz responded by noting the importance of leverage. "You look at the threat of tariffs against Mexico and Canada immediately has produced action," he said. Trump's selected upcoming Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said on Trump in an interview with the Financial Times before he was nominated for the role, "My general view is that at the end of the day, he is a free trader." For some time, BRICS nations, among the fast-growing economies in the 21st century, have grown increasingly vocal about reducing their reliance on the dollar. The movement gained traction following US-led sanctions on Russia in 2022, amid concerns other BRICS nations could be targeted if they fell out with the West. Why does the US want to stop de-dollarization? What are the benefits the US is getting from the dollar dominance? BRICS nations have accused Washington of weaponizing the dollar, leveraging the currency so that rivals must operate within a framework defined by US interests. Most economists agree that the dollar-dominated financial system gives the United States major economic advantages, including lower borrowing costs, the ability to sustain larger fiscal deficits, and exchange rate stability. The dollar is the main currency used to price commodities like oil and gold, and its stability means investors often flock to the dollar during uncertain times. Washington also benefits from enormous geopolitical influence from so-called dollarization, including the ability to impose sanctions on other nations and restrict their access to trade and capital. But can Donald Trump stop de-dollarization with the 100% tariff threats? Trump wrote on Truth Social that when he returns to the White House in January 2025, he would require a commitment from BRICS countries that they neither create a new BRICS currency nor back any other currency to replace the mighty US dollar. To some extent, Trump's tariff tactics are working on some countries. Recently, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau made an unscheduled trip to Trump's Florida state, Mar-a-Lago, seemingly to head off a potential 25% tariff on Canadian goods heading south. Last week, Indian External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar said at the Doha Forum, "We have always said that India has never been for de-dollarization. Right now, there is no proposal to have a BRICS currency. The BRICS do business, financial transactions, but the US is our largest trade partner. We have no interest in weakening the dollar at all. However, it is doubtful that these threats will work on all countries, especially non-Western countries. It is also doubtful that Trump will succeed in stopping de-dollarization completely, but he can slow down the process for some time. Trump's threat could also strain ties with the world's fastest growing economies, some of the US's top trading partners. It could also spark threat of retaliatory measures. Any move by the US could further spike inflation both globally and domestically, potentially slowing economic growth. Russian government spokesman Dmitry Peskov said a trend was gathering pace against the dollar as a reserve currency, saying that more and more countries are switching to the use of national currencies in their trade and foreign economic activities. However, the BRICS currency proposal has made little progress. It will take years to come into effect, and discussions have until now focused on boosting trade within the bloc using national currencies. As we know, the de-dollarization mainly started due to huge sanctions imposed by the US on Russia, the seizure of Russian assets in Western countries, and fear of similar sanctions in non-Western countries. Now, if Trump is threatening those countries with sanctions, then the US is proving that the fear of non-Western countries were right, and they will not stop de-dollarization completely. However, they can slow down the de-dollarization process for the short term, as they are still dependent on the US dollar and the US for international transactions. As Trump focuses on economic nationalism and defending the dollar, the global consequences for countries like China, Russia, and other friendly nations such as India, Saudi Arabia, and UAE, which have been involved in de-dollarization discussions, will be significant. It would be pertinent to point out that while going in for trade in non-dollar currencies, there is a realization that the dollar will remain the dominant global currency in the coming years. Still, the global share of dollar is diminishing day by day. According to the International Monetary Fund, the dollar is still accounted for 59% of official foreign exchange reserves in 2024. The euro was the next closest currency, holding nearly 20%. In the 1970s, the US dollar accounted for 85% of global foreign exchange reserves. The US dollar has traditionally served as the world's primary currency for foreign exchange markets, commodity pricing, and international debt issuance. Despite the US economy comprising only 25% of global GDP, the dollar's outsized role highlights its exorbitant privilege. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for new videos on important international topics.